A while back I spoke with you guys about the first AoC meeting and you guys really seemed to like that, so I'll keep up with that. Remember, these meetings are every 2 weeks, so this one is our second. This meeting was spent talking to the tech and design teams. Like always, I can't really go into specifics about new balance or new content, but they didn't really tell us about or show us any new content or balance anyways, since 2.04 is still a good ways out, and 2.03 isn't even out yet. Now let's go ahead and get right into nearly everything we talked about. Okay, so as you probably guessed, there are some big changes to the 2019 development plan. As you know, development resources were moved to working on bug fixing and polish. However, the extent of that hasn't really been made clear until now. So like I said in a prior video, skins are still coming. The art team isn't really equipped to fix bugs, their talent is with making art. However, there will still be less skins per update. The plan was about 6 per update, and now that's going to 4. Still a good amount of skins, but we won't be seeing the crazy amount we've been seeing with End Times or Future's End. Clans will not be coming this year, and all of the planned events have been cancelled for now. Again, this is all to focus on fixing bugs and polishing the game. I know this probably sounds super disappointing to some, I get it, part of me is disappointed too, but I can't argue that this isn't the right thing to do. Everyone's been asking for bug fixes and to focus on that for a while, and we're finally getting it. However, they do understand that after a while, you guys could easily move from wanting to focus on bugs to feeling the game is getting stale and it needs events back. So for right now, bug fixing is the main focus. However, later in the year, depending on you guys and the state of the game, that could be different. They brought up how they're going to be reducing the first-person weapon size of some characters, since some can be pretty big. Thunderbrush already talked about this before on either Twitter or Reddit. Mojli and Terminus are the focus when it comes to this. Their weapons do take up a lot of space on the screen, especially with certain skins. They're looking to do another community skin project later this year. I can't give you any more details on that, but at least you know it's coming back. They're also interested in doing another avatar contest, but I don't really know when they want to do that. Once we got through talking about all that, we started talking with Tech. Tech now has Dale, or Zenin, I hope I said that right, I'm so sorry if I didn't. So as you guys know, they did put in fixes for the bug where you crash while loading up your profile, but some players have reported that they're still getting it, so they're continuing to investigate it. Console not having a working spectator mode was brought up too. Smite actually recently dropped support for this as well. Having a spectator mode causes a lot of networking and memory issues on console. PC players can spectate Xbox and Switch players though. PS4 players no, because of course Sony has to accept that, and you guys know how they've been about that lately. Another console thing is you can't pause custom games on console like you can on PC. This is likely an oversight. They're going to go ahead and look into fixing that. With PC you have to type in a command to do it, and obviously consoles can't type in commands, so they would need to add an option to do it in the pause screen or something. This was also brought up. It might only be on console, but sometimes the game gives you the not able to join party message when you're already in the party and it doesn't fix itself until you restart the game. And the PS4 store can pop up on your screen in the middle of games. These are being investigated. This one is for PC as well. You join a party and it kicks you out instantly. They weren't able to reproduce this for a long time, but they were recently able to and are now able to test it. There's a fix for this in the Future's End update. This is another console one. Playing for a while makes it so you can't mess with your loadouts, emotes, poses, skins, etc. This is a high priority for them. Okay, so skins commonly referred to as pay-to-win skins, the ones with quiet sounds. They have a big list for these, and fixing them all is a high priority as well. There were apparently a lot of audio fixes added to the patch notes yesterday, so look at that if you want to see if a certain audio bug was fixed or not. Skins that have visual effect disadvantages or advantages were also brought up, like Merrymaker Dredge's weapon being blinding or hardly even there depending on your graphic settings. So player reporting, a lot of you feel like it doesn't do anything. Well, they did take that feedback and they made improvements to the system to make it more reliable. They have to wait an update to see if it made a big enough difference though. So, a specific hacker in the SEA region, you guys may have heard of him, He plays Leon and he has aimbot, wall hacks, and even a hack that makes one bullet hit everyone on the screen no matter what. It's basically constant alacrity on your primary. He's been banned multiple times, but keeps making more accounts and coming back. So IP banning people like that was brought up, but in some places you can call in and get a new IP. So hardware banning was also brought up, and this makes it so you have to buy a new PC to evade the ban. So hopefully they'll hit this guy with that soon. Characters turning invisible was reported to them. I've seen this happen with several different characters. I imagine many of you have also. Normally I can only see their health bar, but not any part of them themselves. The map Ascension Peak not being selectable in customs will also be fixed soon. This was brought up too. Alright, now on to the design part. So a lot of you wonder what it takes to get a character flat banned in ranked. Like, Terminus is really buggy, why don't they remove him from ranked? Well, it depends on the amount of players this stuff is happening to. If it's only happening in 1% of games, you would be negatively impacting more players than you are helping by banning that character. Like, Terminus is really buggy, same with Khan, but how often do those bugs happen to people across all of the player base, you know? If it's something big that always happens, then yeah, a character would probably be banned or disabled. There have already been several cases where characters were disabled for a while, and that's because whatever bug they had happened all the time, no matter what. And that's different from Khan or Terminus, whose bugs don't happen every time. Resources are also a factor. If they're able to fix the problem quickly, then they could ban the character since they wouldn't be gone for too long. However, if it's not a quick fix, then that character would be gone for a while, and that sucks if you like playing the character. And that's where the whole negatively impacting people comes in. We talked about adding more things to the post-game stat screen, stuff like damage taken, the game's score, like if it was a 4-3, the bans in that specific ranked game, and the correct map name display in the history menu, because in history the map name isn't there unless it's a custom game. Also talked quite a bit about the shooting range, so they can't completely make a new one because that would stop us from getting a whole new map, because the resources for a new map would go to that, and there's no doubt which one is more important to have. However, the area can have things added to it. Things like more moving characters, like maybe Eevee soaring, or Andro dashing, or Maeve prowling, a tank with their barrier up, or Ceres constantly healing something, distance markers on the walls to measure wit as well. One thing that is coming up in the next update is the 5 skies will be replaced with 5 victors. Victor always dying, keeping the meme alive. Another thing that was asked for is a clear way to see that you can recharge your alt in there. So if you walk out and back into the main square, it does refill, however this isn't super clear to everyone. So they may do something like put the alt pickup from TDM in there and make it constantly respawn. Another thing was being able to play in the shooting range while waiting for a game. So this would be pretty hard since that's very resource intensive, and we know where resources are being focused right now. Skirmishing while waiting for a game like in Overwatch was brought up too, and that's basically in the same boat. One of us brought up that you guys like the Siege of Ascension Peak menu screen more than the newer menu screen. They hear ya, they're working on something similar to that. Standardizing the cameras for mounts was a thing we talked about. They're all different depending on the character, and some players have requested that they become all the same. Like for example, Leon and Koga's camera is way closer than somebody like Makoa's, who is far back. We also talked about giving Furia's beam a friendly indicator so you guys know when it's coming. The last thing we talked about was voice chat for Switch. Now the Switch isn't the strongest piece of hardware. They have attempted to put that in the past, but it's proven difficult to make work. They definitely haven't given up on it though. So yeah, that's basically everything we talked about in this AoC meeting. Obviously there's way more to talk about, but meetings only last so long. We're always reporting things and giving them feedback in between meetings though, so don't worry. We don't only do what we're supposed to once every 2 weeks. Like, we all give them bug reports and balanced feedback from you guys and stuff like that. Anyway, that's pretty much it guys. I want to thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate it, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.